Good morning, everyone. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Awareness Jolly. Here's your host and host, Khushi Malhotra. I thank you all for honoring us with your presence today. There are so many people of our age today present here, and I'm so delighted to see that people are so, aware about mental health awareness. And I would like to thank our esteemed guests who are present here. Not only them, Vmitis, the co-founders of Vmitis, Mr. Kunal Soni, Ms. Kanchi Jain, Ms. Anna Thakur, who made this dream come true. Not only them, the special guidance of Rajkot Management Association for collaborating with Vmitis, we thank you a lot. Without you, this would not have been possible. But now, what is Vmitis? I have been talking about this quite a lot. But now, what is Vmitis? It is an upcoming platform for anonymous communications, wherein you can share your stories, your emotions, your feelings, and whatnot. Now, without any further ado, let's move forward and let me present you with our first speaker, Clemence Fabien. And I must say, she is a true inspiration for all of us. She has had a successful career and now she is helping others to thrive in their careers. And this is such a marvelous job. And I feel the meditation she does every day, this is the key to her success. So over to you, ma'am. I request you to speak.
Thank you. Thank you very much for this lovely introduction. I am very, very pleased to be here. It's such an honor and such a great event to support, and I'm great that I can be here today to support you and to spread as well the awareness, to share this mission together of spreading awareness. And this project is absolutely fantastic, and I really want to praise you all for this wonderful work. And especially at your age, I think it's so wonderful to see that you're concerned and to see your very mature analysis of the world. So today, from my point of view of being a coach and my experience of working abroad, I'm going to be talking about what mental health is in the world, and give you a little bit of a definition. And then we're going to be looking a little bit more about what happens when you're a teenager and how does the mental health happen at that time, what's specific to this particular age. And then, of course, looking at solutions. So starting with mental health in the World Health Organization is actually showing that anxiety and depression is increasing. So there is more and more cases that are being diagnosed. And this is also because the diagnosis is getting better and better. So there used to be a lot of people not really taken seriously, struggling with mental health. And now it is really considered and being more and more diagnosed, and there's more awareness around it, which is a great thing. And it's amazing now to consider that the very definition of mental health has got health in it. So mental health is an integral and essential component of health. So there's been a massive change toward this, in terms of consideration, that it turns out it's not something that happens in your head, or it's not something that's comfortable, that's something that you have, like happiness, that's, impossible. Maybe you can get it, but if you're not happy, it's something in your head. No, it is really the connection with health is now very big, and there isn't such thing different from physical. Physical and mental health are necessary if you want to be healthy. So what's a mental illness? So a mental illness, a condition, is something that's got a negative effect on the way an individual would think, would feel, and behave, or behave. So that's really interesting to consider, because this really has an effect, really big, on the person and on its life, and that's not less than a physical problem. It actually, it can be seen, it can have a massive impact on somebody's life. And that's also being changing all around the world, about the way that it's being perceived by people. So in the world, there's a lot of inequalities, as you're probably aware, about mental health and about the way it's treated. So I wanted to show you this map. This map shows a psychiatrist working in mental health around the world. So that was in 2011. And so you can see the lighter the color, the less psychiatrists are available, and the darker the color, the more psychiatrists is available. And this is really showing the inequalities and all the issues that still need to be addressed towards this. And it's really, really massive, really, really important. So that was a general sort of presentation on mental health. So now let's look at what's more specific in teenagers. Mental health as a teenagers. So again, the same organization says that the consequences of not addressing mental health as a teenager extend to adulthood. So most of the time, they're being created, they appear at this particular time of life, and then it can impair both physical and mental health and limiting opportunities to lead a fulfilling life as an adult. What does that say? That's critical, isn't it? So it means that if a teenager is struggling at this time of life, that he's more likely to be an adult that's not having a great life. So, and what does that make in terms of a society, or even at the scale of the world? You know, if people are unhappy and unhealthy. So that's really something really, really important to address and to take into account. So teenage years is a really, really challenging time. So really, if yourself is a teenager, or if your close one or your friends or relative are a teenager, it's very important to remember that the body is changing. So there's this transition phase between childhood and adulthood, yes, and the body is changing, all the hormonal state is changing, and that is very overwhelming, and that can create all sorts of emotions, and even the center of gravity in the body is changing. It's massive change. And as well as the personality is also growing and building, and it's not completely complete yet. You know, it's still in the process of becoming yourself, becoming and defining, discovering who you are. So in itself, being a teenager is a very challenging time. And even if everything else is perfect in your life, you can still experience mental health problems. So no wonder if the situation is a bit difficult, like I'm thinking about the pandemic, if there's stress or trauma, or if your country is going through a difficult phase, can you imagine the multiple challenges that you have to be facing at that time? So no wonder that you're struggling. This is absolutely normal, and no wonder that you need help. And that's absolutely normal as well, and it needs to be developed. So what sorts of mental health conditions are very common or classic in when you are a teenager? So it could be emotional disorders. So that's, for example, anxiety and depression. It can be behavioral disorders connected to learning, difficulty to learn, hyperactivity, for example, or violent behavior, for example. Eating disorders are also very common in teenagers, and that's also a way to show in the behavior, and that's not controlled, of course, by the teenager, to show that there is something wrong inside. That's what the behaviors usually show. When you see somebody having a weird behavior, there's usually a cause, could be linked to mental health. So it's important to keep that in mind as well. So eating disorders could be eating too little or too much, and that's also a way of harming. It can be very dangerous for health. Psychosis could be hallucinations, delusions that could lead to severe conditions as well. Suicide and self-harm are very big, of course, as teenagers. And it's also crucial to remember that among all the suicides in teenagers in the world, 90% of them happen in low and middle income countries. So again, once again, very, very important consequence that needs to be addressed and worked on a global level. Risk-taking behaviors, very classically, could be alcohol, cigarettes, smoking, drugs, or sexual risk behavior. So really important towards this year to continue promote and prevent. So just explaining like how it works, what are the aspects, and what are the consequences. It's very crucial. So a lot of awareness needs to be spread, and early detection of the problem and the treatment is the best way to address that kind of problems. So it's great really to have that in mind. That's already a first step, and that's already a big progress in itself. Looking at solutions now, talking helps. Talking is always recommended. First, because you realize then you're not the only one. You're not the only one going through this. And as I said, it's very common, even so common that probably every person in one's life will experience at some point some mental health issue. Every person. This is how common it is. So you're not struggling on your own. You're not alone. You're not broken, or you're not mad. That's really important. If you've been experiencing that kind of symptoms, or if you are very close to someone in your family or a friend experiencing that kind of symptoms, it can be addressed. It can be cured. And the first thing that can be recommended in that case is talking. That's why I think this Vmitis platform is so amazing, because it's not always possible, right, to talk to somebody, to find a psychiatrist. There can be money issues. It can be not very easily accessible in your country. So there can be stigmas as well around getting help and talking about problems. And this anonymous platform is going to be huge, and it's going to be a massive help for people all over the world that cannot find as well people, or complementary, if they already have friends they can talk to, complementary way to talk, to express, to write. And as Aristotle, the Greek philosopher, said, the catharsis in itself is the first step towards healing. And most of the therapies that are available, psychotherapies, psychiatry, are talk therapies. So of course they are done with the help of a professional that is trained, and that's the best case if you can access, of course, that professional help. It's the best way to address a problem and to seek healing. But even just the opportunity to be able to talk just puts this problem outside of you, and it becomes more manageable. It becomes something that you can sort of put down a little bit, and the burden is a little bit lighter. So it's definitely a massive solution that you can reach easily with this platform, for example. Other useful tools. So those tools that I'm going to be talking about are more around well-being, so you can access, such as exercise, having a very healthy routine, sleeping well, eating healthy, meditation. As it was mentioned in the presentation, I use a lot of meditation in my everyday life, about 2 hours a day, and it's amazing to see this great teaching that comes from the East, right? It's growing also here in the West. And the effect on mental health is amazing, on the happiness and on the way to see life is absolutely amazing. And I can only recommend it. And there's so many resources now online for free that you can access, that you should check it out. Really, it really makes a huge difference. If you're more physical, it could be also breathing exercises, it could be yoga, and just building more positivity in your life, smiling more. You can write a lot as well. Do a journal and try to focus on the positive. What can I be grateful for today? What was great in my life today? That can really help to sort of uplift your mood when you're struggling and when you're going through difficult times. It doesn't mean that you should not say as well about what's going on for you and what struggles you go through, but it helps to see life in a more positive light. And there's been a lot of studies actually about that are absolutely amazing. And there's one that I wanted to share about today. And just the fact of smiling for 2 minutes. So even if you don't feel like smiling, you can even just hold a pen in between your teeth, just like this, for 2 minutes. And this very movement just sends a signal to your brain and makes you more happy. This is how mechanical it is. More happiness creates more happiness. So loads of resources online are accessible about that as well. And there are really little things that, but put together, they can make a big difference. So that's definitely something that's available right here, right now, that you can implement in your life on an everyday basis. And then to change the world, guys, it starts with you. It starts with you, and it's already very amazing that you're just here listening to this talk. You're just here joining this event. And I'm so optimistic, and gives me so much hope to see that. Because as Gandhi said, and as you know, become the change you want to see in the world. And that's the very first thing. And towards awareness, it's the same thing. It starts with you. It starts with you about mental health, and you can really spread that idea if you're really convinced, deep down in your heart. So what does that mean? That means that you have more empathy as well towards people, no judgment, because you know, because it's proven scientifically now that having mental health problems is not being crazy, it's not being broken, and it can be fixed, it can be helped. And the first thing you can do is help yourself, is really change deep down and make sure that you've got all this love or this compassion that can be spread out of the world. And this is really all what this event is about. And it's such a great honor to be part of it. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you, Ma, for sharing your valuable thoughts. It was applaudable. I was so happy to hear you say so many things about mental health. And you just conveyed the idea we teenagers have. And it was like I was hearing myself talking. And mental health has such an impact on our behavior and our lives. And that is true for a fact. Thank you, ma'am, for sharing such great ideas with us. So let's move on to our next speaker. And I must assure you, he is the liveliest of all. He is the Chief Smiling Officer, Mr. Sunny Nagpal. So, Mr. Sunny Nagpal has spent 7 golden years under the leadership of Dr. Kiran Bedi, where he executed early leadership model for children in slums, impacting the life of 15,000 people. He considers volunteering in Chinmay Mission was a special gift of his life. He has authored many books like Know Self, Love Self, Celebrate Self. So, without any delay, let's have on stage Mr. Sunny Nagpal. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Khushi. I'm enjoying listening to you, your style, and wonderful. And congratulations to you all. I posted on LinkedIn also telling 10th graders, 11th graders doing wonders. Strategizing, planning on mental health for whole of the country and global as well. So for me, mental health is like potato. So in India, we have jeera aloo, and we have separate aloo also. And aloo can be combined with bhindi, gobi, and paneer, etc., whatever. So mental health is all about staying alone and staying together, being dependent and being independent. So that is one quality that we need to work as a team also, and we need to stand alone also. Right? So this is my lesson number 1. Can I go to the lesson number 2? Yes. So that's see, if you're born an apple, you need not feel jealous of orange. Look at Khushi, she has such wonderful specs. She has so much of money, her parents are good. You need not compare. And you need not tell, hey, तू apple में बदल जा, तू orange में बदल जा, तू mango में बदल जा. Not required. We need not change anyone. Just accept yourself the way you are. You are special. So there's no comparison between apple and an orange. And you must have done well. Yay! I bet my own record. And then you feel upset. My God. What happened? Khushi scored 2 marks more than me. And I'm upset. So that is not required. Khushi's hair is longer than mine. Not required. She's wearing a wig. She only knows. Right? And when we deal with human beings are not remote. So stop controlling your friends. You change. Why you always do this? I will change your channel. So we need not change parents, spouse, siblings, friends. Don't control them. You should like only this. You should do only this. Why? Nobody loves me. The door of the heart is opening from inside. So open your heart and love like Khushi, Kanchi, Kunal, and Yash, bhaiya, है ना? So we should go out and love instead of complaining. Nobody loves me, right? And then I have a key. Don't put the key to your happiness into someone else's pocket. So you should have your key and just decide to be happy. Make a decision to be happy. It is a choice. And your heart is the manufacturer of happiness. Like ma'am spoke about positivity. I was enjoying when she put the pencil inside and said, even this sends signal to the brain. I really enjoyed. All is well, mamu. Brain ko ullu bana ke rakho so that happy hormones are released. So I enjoyed a lot. And then mental health is like daily charge. Just like you bath daily, charge your mobile every day, charge your mind also every day. Charge them with spiritual thoughts, affirmations, self love, positive self talk. This should be the daily routine. And what makes you think, Arjuna in Mahabharata excelled, there were so many students, or Mark Zuckerberg created Facebook, Bill Gates created Windows, Narayan Murthy ji created Infosys, Steve Jobs created Apple. What mental peace they had. Did they compare? Khushi is taller than me. No, they just went on, right? They did not feel bad and sad. They did not become jealous. And they were not shaken up by little coronas and all, right? Yes, corona has come to bring out the leadership of yours. If corona can go viral, why not your program? Why not your leadership? Why not your positivity? Why not your happiness? Why not your inner strength? Right? Steve Jobs was thrown away from his own company. Did he say, oh, everything is lost? What will I do? No. He was filled with conviction. He had his brains. He had experience. You must have read Thomas Alva Edison, 10,000 mistakes burnt. He didn't cry, oh, what do I do? And our own Kunal, he says, problems directly proportional to happiness. I wrote to him, can I please copy? Wow, he's a mathematician, coder. So he's coming up with these ideas. Okay, now my next prop is Maggi masala or tomato ketchup. You can't be eating this all the time, right? And you can't make this the main course, right? This is just part of your dish. So you can cry, feel sad, bad, but you can't take tomato ketchup as your main course. You can't have a salt dish. What is your food today? Salt. What is your lunch today? Salt. What is your dinner today? Salt. What did you have yesterday? Pickle. Afternoon, pickle. Night, pickle. You don't do that, right? But little pickle is okay. So little stress is okay. Little tension is okay because then your life will be like guitar playing the music, right? If it is too tight, then the strings would break. Arey bhaiya, kuch nahi karna. So too loose, no music. Too tight, it will break. Just right. Yes, I have to study. I have to talk. And you are this mobile age, technology age. So have an antivirus in your phone. That's simple. So I have few more minutes so I can crack more jokes. So antivirus for your mind, antivirus for your intellect, antivirus for your negativity. And somebody telling you, Khushi, you were not looking good. What, Ray? You should have come in bright, shiny, shadi ke kapde. So you should not feel bad. So you should have an antivirus and immunity for that. And Kiran ma'am has always taught us, sharpen your tools, add your tools. You are born with something and you have to add on to your tools. So that you become like Clemence ma'am and you meditate for 2 hours and then put it in your mouth at least to fool your brain. All is well, right? And It's not happy one day, it's happy every day. Very, very important. Because happy birthday, Khushi is Khush. Other days, yeah, yesterday I got so many wishes. They treated me like a queen. अगले दिन कोई घास नहीं डालता है सर, क्या बताएं, क्या बीतती है हमारे दिल पे. Yes. So then every day is a celebration and celebration is a choice. Give me 1 second, I'll be back. Yeah, I'm back. So I'm going to give you a demo of my favorite. You have a candle, light up your life. And then if you become like Kunal, Kanchi and Khushi, you can light up others' life. And size and age does not matter, which you have already proved. And then we can celebrate. And life will be very, very beautiful. And you may feel bad. Khushi didn't praise me. And you may switch off also. No problem. Light it again. Somebody will scold you. You will fail in life. It may get switched off. No problem. Light it again. And if you keep lighting others' life every day, how will your mental health be? And I will tell you Clemence ma'am's secret. She's not just doing meditation. She's busy helping millions, right, of her country and now India. Look at her service. So if your life is full of service, your life will always be lit. इनको जलने देते हैं. And I like ma'am's one shot, very good shot was put down the baggage. She did this, right? So it's like you are traveling to Switzerland or Kashmir, carrying a baggage on your head. Is it good? No, sir. The flight will be stuck if I put it down. And we don't use overhead bin. Use the overhead bin, give it to God and celebrate life. You don't have to carry on your head. Have you seen anyone carrying on your head? No, but we teenagers carry and sometimes elderly also carry. Bojha, mere pe hai. I have to earn for the family. I have to study for PhD in class 10. And some people don't smile only. So please give it to God. It's a womb to tomb contract and enjoy life. So I'm very thankful to you for giving me this opportunity. Over to Khushi for all the thank yous and praises. You can praise me as much as you want, even if you did not like. Thank you.
So I won't do that. Your session was, of course, really enjoyable, and I must say, you are the true smile officer. You must be the positivity officer too. And how you use different day-to-day objects to, show the purpose, the main aim of the talk. And thank you for. I am glad that I was instrumental for you to clear the
Thank
topics.
you. And I want to tell you one thing.
It
I'm not educated like Clemence ma'am. I didn't go to college. So I did not have a PPT and data and figures. So I had to manage with all this. So be happy.
So your words were enough. Your words were enough for the purpose.
Yeah, I wanted to hear
Thank
this.
you, sir.
Thank you, Khushi.
So let's move on to our next speaker. She may be the last speaker, but she is not the least speaker. She is the most charming of all, Miss Kanan Pareek. She is the co-founder of Kanan's Kidoquest. Kanan ma'am is an academic facilitator who works with preschoolers, who has spread her knowledge to 800 plus teachers, 50 plus franchises across the country. She has been awarded with top most beautiful women with Inspirational Award 2020 and Jagat Guru Sri Krishnan Samman. Over to you, ma'am.
So thank you very much to the team of Awareness Jolly, because I could not take one single name because there is a team behind all these efforts which you all have been taking, which has been taken by youth for youth to make mental health awareness to the masses, which is quite required at this point of view. So there is not much to speak, but since Clement ma'am and Sunny sir has already covered lot many points, and they've not left any single point to speak on about. But yes, during this COVID-19, I would come up with this topic because there is a lot of mental health which is very very important, where we need to focus on. And this pandemic is bothering every one of us throughout the world, whether it's directly or indirectly, and has changed our life to a great extent. I guess everybody will agree to this. And a world which was earlier with a lot of activities, there were a lot of commitments, we used to go for parties, we used to have targets in the offices, we used to have a lot of academics in the college, we used to have a lot of celebrations among ourselves, is all missing, is being redefined and is being reoriented with all such type of events. And this uncertainty and the unknown things which has appeared, that is pandemic, has created a fear and tensions, stress, etc. I would say COVID has done this everything to all of us in the world around. It's not just India but also the abroad cities. So mental health for me is for all the generations, which is much needed, whether it's like if I would say it's right from the childhood to the adulthood. And I would say it's not a single person is being affected. We cannot say no, the small children who are from the age group of 2 to 5 years or maybe 6 years or 14 plus age group of children are not suffering with this. Everybody has been suffered with this COVID pandemic, and everybody has to think about the mental health awareness which they need to focus on. So mental health mostly is which involves your emotional, your physical, your psychological and social well-being. It affects more how you think, how you react, and how you feel about it. So it's also determined how we handle the stress, which is whether it is related to the other person, whether it is related to me. So maybe in your group circle, in your friend circle, your families and friends, everybody must be suffering. Everyone is thinking about yaar ye COVID aa gaya, and lot of things has been stopped, our life has got stopped and all those things. But it is your you have your own choices to make it. You have to feel it, you have to take a correct decision, you have to be very positive about it. So very very important that mental health is at every stage of life, right from, as I told you, it's right from your childhood to the adulthood. So also according to the World Health Organization, mental health is a state where well-being of individual realizes his or own abilities. When we talk about हम में इतने capabilities है, so ये सब capabilities है, लेकिन आप इसको cope up करने के लिए एक normal जो stress आया है हमारी life में, that is pandemic, we are not coping up with that. We are unable to cope up with that. So we have to somewhere focus. We have to set our mind. Mind is one of the most important thing where you have to be very mindful, I would say, which helps you to cope up with the normal stress what you have been facing, and can work productively and can give you fruitful activity, can help you for fruitful maybe contribution to your community as well. It's not just for ourselves, हमारे खुद के लिए हम लोग नहीं करते, but हम किसी को और को भी मदद कर सकते हैं. So this COVID-19 has really changed our lifestyle, and it has got changed totally. So I would say where we have been using different gadgets, application, but this all has affected our psychological needs of people. And this COVID era has resulted in plenty of stress in people. Everybody is under lockdown, no offices, work from home, 24/7, everyone is working. And it is all giving you a stress. And to manage this stress, you have to learn to manage your mental health, which is very, very important. Now, direct effects of COVID-19 is more fear. You are more scared. You are always searching for your safety. for yourself as well as for your family members. Now it's been like so many people have been, has experienced the loss, the families, the friends, everybody has experienced the loss, which is very very, affect, which is lot of people it has been affected in everybody's life. I would say there is a lot of people who are dying, and this stress is also one kind of mental health, where you have to now uh, work on it. You have to be manage your mental health in this situation also. And when I talk about indirect kind of effects of this COVID-19, is like, there is lockdown, which has stopped you moving out from your house. Uh, Talking about social, physical distancing, I would say rather social distancing. I would prefer you all to, follow physical distancing more. In spite of talking about social distancing, talk about physical distancing to avoid this. Sports, we are not at all explore to the outdoor areas. We are not able to play any kind of games in outdoor. We have stopped going to gym. We don't do exercise. Being at home also, we are unable. Everything has got stopped. And so this all places which I have already described was giving us a kind of resilience, which was building a resilience among all of us, which is now missing. Now we cannot travel. Sometimes mood is getting changed. Academically, we all have been affected. There is no schools, there is no colleges. Everything has got shut down. So we are all worried about the virus, and offices are being closed, employees are being cut shorted, and many more such things. So initially there was a lot of stigma. People used to hide that they are being affected by COVID, they are being tested positive. But now that stigma, which has been changed, it's not about feeling guilty, it's about, oh, did I give this to the person, mere se to nahi person ko COVID ho gaya. This is what we are thinking now. So our mental health is again, is we are all already stressed out. यार मुझे तो ना हो जाए कहीं कोविड, I don't want to suffer it, और मेरे से किसी के पास ना हो जाए, or no person should get affected, and so on. So what keeps us well? Now, to avoid all such things, what you require during this pandemic is more of physical exercises, mental health support system that you have in your terms, like, you have your families, you have your friends, you have your colleagues, you have your maybe niece and all the family members, etc. So maybe you spend time with them, maybe you have a lot of conversations with them, maybe you keep yourself busy doing some kind of activity, maybe you keep reading books. In all this, the important thing is how you are going to deal your mental health during the COVID times. Now everybody, as I told you, everybody is in home, but kya kare? What is the next thing? What every morning we are with a question mark. What am I going to do today? What is my agenda for the day? So if you plan, if you are having your schedule properly in your hand, that today you are going to do so and so things, it is really going to help you to stay busy. It is really going to help you to concentrate on one particular thing in spite of the negative things. So there is no one right way to cope up with such stress. I would say people who have tried everything, and what works for you will not work for me. Okay, and it may not work for someone else also. Suppose अगर मैंने मेरे किसी फ्रेंड को बताया कि मैं रीडिंग करती हूँ यार, दिन भर बुक बहुत सारी स्टोरीज पढ़ती हूँ या बहुत सारे ऑथर्स की बुक रिफर करती हूँ, that is not going to work for the other person. So you have to think, you have to decide on your own that what works for you. Now, a very easy example I would give, there is a lot of people who are making cake, cookies, lot of food items, a lot of cuisine has been introduced on the social media. And looking towards that, it should not happen, यार वो केक बना रही है, मुझे भी केक बनाना है. वो उसने cookies बनाए, मुझे भी cookies बनाना है. So it may not help. It may not, somewhere all these things will not work for you. Not everyone can imitate a person. You have to decide how your mental health will be positive enough, how you can concentrate and focus and be mindful. So we can only be healthy when your mind, body, and soul is balanced. Now, to be mindful, all these three things is important. अगर आपका mind, body, or soul is all balanced, I would say is all balanced, then and then only it is possible that you can float and stay well. So understanding an opponent, now authentic information, I would say, कि जहां जहां हम लोगों ने सुना था कि कोविड के इंजेक्शंस एंड ऑल दोज थिंग्स इज बीन प्रिपेयर्ड इन इंडिया एज वेल, लॉट ऑफ रूमर्स कि अभी ये मंथ में ये वैक्सीनेशंस आ जाएंगे, ये मंथ में ये टैबलेट्स आ जाएगी या मेडिसिन आ जाएंगे मार्केट में. सो लॉट ऑफ रूमर्स वी आर बीन लिसनिंग, and if we understand this authentic information, it drives out our fear. Now when we talk about driving out our fear, जैसे मैंने आपको बताया कि the way we are being listening to the rumors, in spite of listening to the rumors, think about and you yourself decide what WHO is going to spread a news will be the correct news. So do not think or do not believe on the rumors. So better wait for the correct and authentic information, then only believe, understand the authentic information, which will help you to stay happy. Because अगर आप ये सुनोगे कि वैक्सीन नहीं आने वाला है, next 6 months the vaccine is not going to be introduced in India, it is not going to reach out to many people. So listening to others also affects our mental health. So do not do not over listen to the other people, which can affect your mental health also. Ignore that and listen to the authentic information. Take care of yourself. Now when I say take care of yourself, be kind to yourself, have a daily routine, as I earlier told. Start your day with your exercise, have a proper diet, limit your alcohol, limit your tobacco. I would say at this age, for the teenagers to the youth, it's very, very dangerous. I should say it's not for only teenagers, it's for every human being. So this also affects your mental health. Now, if you start if you are more stressed out, you think that you smoke, stress nikal jayega. That is very wrong assumptions. You drink, stress nikal jayega. Nothing is going to happen, guys. It's really the false statement. So do not do that, such kind of things which is going to affect yourself. To build resilience, you have to do something new to discover yourself. So do something new, in spite of listening more of or doing some different things which the common people are doing it, and you imitate them. Stop that all and decide on your own. You have to take care of yourself. Nobody else is going to come and help you out. So again, next, create your to-do list is the important thing. I would say during this pandemic, things which are under your control, make a list of it. As one of my friend always says, that if there is a solution, there is no problem. If there is no solution, there is no problem. And if there is a problem, there is a solution also. So in spite of not talking to anyone, just sitting in one particular room, you don't feel like talking to your parents always, you don't like to move out of the house since this is a pandemic going on. But I would say the more you have conversation with your peers, it's more of you release your stress. As Sunny sir has used a lot of props, you can see, think like how many props he has introduced us, which we have never thought of. Now, when we talk about Clemence ma'am, she was also explaining about the smiling just for 2 minutes, just for a minute you smile, the mind will, the facial expression will totally get changed. I would say even if we listen to a music and if we just, the lyrics, if we just, without singing loudly also, if we just recall that particular music, the mind is totally changed. Your mental health, where you were being more stressed, is the stress gets released, it gets rid of, and you are being into the different world. So think about all these things, like, in spite of sitting in the room, not talking and all, go and have a conversation. Whenever you are stressful, see to it you reach to a particular person with whom you are more comfortable. Have good amount of sleep, very very important in this COVID time. If you neglect your sleep, you are neglecting your mental health. Now in this pandemic, I have seen many youngsters, many parents also, because youngsters have introduced parents about the Netflix series. Nowadays parents are also being seeing this Netflix series. You yourself is being keeping, staying attached to the social media applications, which is not appropriate. Because sometimes it may be appropriate, I won't say, but yes, you have to decide about what is good for yourself. Apart from that, stay away from this Netflix series and all. Now you would say, ये मैम क्या तो है, Netflix series बंद करवा रही है हमारी, but have a limitations to it. Set a time period for it. Not like till 2 o'clock, till 3 o'clock in the morning you are awake and you are hampering your sleep. You are neglecting your sleep, because the sleep for a human body is very very important. Now when I say important, it is very important, means very important. Now you can go to a nutritionist also, the doctor also, they would always say that 7 to 8 hours of sleep is must for everyone, and that too you have to follow it on daily basis. Now if I say that sleep also plays an important role to reduce your weight, it is important. So your mental health, your brain goes calm down when you have a good amount of sleep. So do not ignore your sleep as well. Build more of social connections. Now if I talk about social connections, so there was this Kunal and team, the Jolly awareness team, with whom we were not aware who are these guys, but due to this social network that is LinkedIn, has got us together, and we are spreading this mental health awareness activity or event together. So utilize your time for a good purpose, good cause, in spite of sitting or doing surfing something other things on the internet and all. I would prefer go ahead with this. That would really help you all. So before I end up this session, I would say that everybody should give a priority to your mental health. It is essential for your happiness. It is essential for your self care, and that is a need of everybody's life. So focusing and developing your releasing your stress by just having a few conversation with your close ones. Maybe you have your family relatives, maybe you have your family friend as well. Go to them, talk to them. In spite of suffering alone, share and stay always happy. If you share, the inner things of your soul or of your mind releases, and then you feel little bit calm, and that's what works for me. So I always see that whenever I am stressful, I talk to my mom more. So my mom, whether she gives me a solution, whether she doesn't give me a solution, but for me, if I talk to her for 5 minutes also helps me out to calm down and release my stress all the time. So stay happy and stay safe during this pandemic, and work on your mental awareness, mental health. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your valuable thoughts with us. And you talk about how COVID has impacted our lives. And yes, for a fact, we need to talk. I truly agree with you, what you said, that we need to plan our schedule. we have invested a lot of time in watching televisions, and we think now life is boring, stressful, but no, we need to come out of it. And thank you so much for sharing your thoughts on this topic. I wanted to listen someone who would address these issues. Thank you so much, ma'am. And
Thank
now
you.
moving forward, we had some questions from our audience earlier, so I have jotted down some of them. I'll ask one by one to the speakers. So, Clemence ma'am, I had a question for you. What drew you to address the issue of mental health? What was that factor, that drew you to this issue?
Thank you for your question, Kushi. Well, like everyone, I experienced myself some mental health problems, and I have to say that for me as well, it started when I was a teenager, and I am really not ashamed to say it now and to share about it publicly on YouTube with all the world, because it's something that also helps sharing awareness. But moreover, more importantly, what I've experienced is that with the proper help, which is friends, family. Sometimes it can be for some people professional help. You can get better, and you're not stuck at some place. And this is again, as well as you said about my career, about the way I wanted to help people, coaching them as well, experiencing a great career afterwards. This is the same feeling for me as I got help from other people, and they helped me go through and transcend a problem. Then naturally I want to do that as well. And it's also, as Suni sir just explained, it's a great way to stay happy, to stay positive, to give back is an amazing thing. I can only recommend it as well. And everybody can do that at your own level. If it's just smiling to somebody in the street, that's giving. Well, with the mask, you can't really do that, but you can smile with your eyes or wink and whatever you can, really. Just give whatever you can. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. I had a more question to ask from you because it was sort of a technical question, and I thought you would be the best person to answer. So, what is the remedial measure you would suggest for people who have less sleep, especially elderly people?
So less sleep when you're elder, struggling with
Yes.
sleep. Okay. Yes, well, for that, relaxation, breathing exercises, meditation. And as the Kanan ma'am has also explained, the more you watch your screen, TV, or your phone at night, and the less the body and the soul and the mind will be ready for a restful state. So it's really important as well to consider your evening routine when you're struggling with sleep and you're struggling to fall asleep. It's probably by also watching less Netflix, because it gets you really excited. You're like, excitement is all the way up, and then you can't. You close down your laptop or something, and you're like, I'm still there, remembering the story, and I want to know what happened next and everything. So, for example, it's better to read a book. Because that's a completely different state, and your body is more relaxed if you're reading in a comfortable position, and you're imagining. So you still get some entertainment, which you want, and it's great to want that in the evening, but it's less exciting for the body and mind. So that could be an option. A regular meditation or breathing exercise, relaxation, yoga, as Kanan ma'am said, I really like that. It's really important to find what works for you. You are so special. You're so unique. You're not like your brother, your sister, your friend. So find what works for you, and for that you need to try. So try things out, try new things. What has been said today. Just around those themes, there's really a lot. It's really rich. So plenty of advice that could be used from today's talk.
So a person has messaged me a question, Shashank Tiwari. I would love to address his question. He says that is there any particular advice for a person with bipolar disorder?
Yes, thank you. So that's a very, very brave question to ask. First, I want to praise that person for asking that. It's amazing that you are courage, do you taking the courage enough to talk about this. Really amazing. Even though it's just anonymous, it's great. It's great to just share about that. So well done first for that. And then secondly, I would say what really it's important to consider if it was a medical diagnosis, then how it was diagnosed. Because of course, even for a bipolar disorder, even if we get the general idea, so there's a conflict in personality, most probably, there's all sorts of bipolar disorders in different states of severity. So it's really needs to be addressed in its unique way, as we always said. Everybody's unique, and so seek professional advice whenever you can, if you can. That's the best thing to start with, and be very sure about what's happening. So there's a connection there, very important, with awareness, being aware of what's happening to you, whether it's a physical condition or anything. It really applies for everything. The more you learn, the more you know, the better you can address it properly. And again, everybody's different. Not everybody has got the same way to react to things, the same relationship with stress, with anger, with emotions. And here the family can be really a great support as well, because the family, even though the diagnosis is just being done, the family knows the person really well. So they can say, this really helps to calm you down usually, or maybe you should try that, as I know how you are and how you can react. So, and friends and everybody around you. So just don't try to. It's also sometimes easy to label something and to consider it as, something that needs to be addressed in a special way. Careful with that. Careful with the labels and the boxes you put things in. Just be very open and just look at what's there instead of looking at stereotypes or stigmas. Sometimes not very helpful. Although it's always great to learn more. So learn and adapt and try things. That applies there too.
Thank you, ma'am, for answering the questions. Sunny sir, we have a question for you too. So this person says that how did you came up with the idea of AHA Education? You had a foundation, so they were eager to know, how did you came up with that idea?
So I was blessed to work with Dr. Kiran Bedi. So the only thing I knew was to love kids, to enjoy with kids. And Chinmay also taught me the same thing, telling stories to kids and nurturing them spiritually. And I didn't have any idea, I was only getting nurtured. When we volunteer, we gain skills. We become leaders. So nature was only preparing me to be a leader. So all my life I had done only volunteering in Navjyoti. So I was with my friend in the park. He said, "Kuch karna hai. Kar le bhai." Okay, let's do AHA Education and let's design AHA experiences in schools for teachers, for students, for non-teaching staff. So I'll be the one, who will go with non-teaching staff and take selfies, make them laugh and smile. And he's from Finland. So he's taken 4 delegations to Finland. So he designs classroom learning methodologies. And he's the chief curiosity officer. I'm the chief smile officer. So that's how AHA was born, to make life AHA, to make school AHA, to make learning AHA, to make everyday AHA. So that's how we came together and we just formed this organization. So we have Chief Inspiration Officer, Chief Child Officer, and that's how it started. And one of the flagship programs in AHA is AHA Brain. So we can decode your confidence, your thoughtfulness, your personality, and your brain processing speed using fingerprints. And we can do wonders. So then there'll be less stress. And like ma'am was suggesting, activities. We talk about multiple intelligences in detail. And we can do so many activities. Some of you would be solving Sudoku puzzles. Some of you would be coding. But first, decode yourself. First, explore yourself. So it's 4E formula. Explore, engage. If you don't explore, you can't engage yourself. So explore, engage, and then excel, and then enlighten. So as the famous quote goes, discover your gift, develop your gift, and give it away. So we should learn from you all. You discovered, you developed, and you're giving it to the whole world. The mental health awareness, and so much more. So amazing. Congratulations once again to you.
Thank you, sir, for answering the question. Kanan ma'am, we have a question for you too.
Sure.
So, people were interested to know how you came up with the idea of Kanan's Kidoquest, and it's basically on preschool. You develop things about preschool, so they wanted to know that what ideas you had at that time.
So if I could say that I was also among the one what you are at, what level you all are at. So even I started my career at the very young age, right from the teacher to center head, and I would really like to tell you that while working as a teacher, I got an opportunity to work with Podar brand. Again, when it comes to work with Podar brand, it was same profile as a main teacher, but within 7 months I got a promotion of center head. And while getting this promotion of center head, I was having a mentor who used to come have a surprise visits and shout on me, ye nahi kiya, wo nahi kiya, and lot of things. So, and she was very young to me. The key thing was she was very very young to me, and I was the jealous person. As you know, we all had the jealousy in us, right? So I used to feel jealous. Now if she can be and she used to shout on me, how could I listen to her? Being a mentor, I have to listen to her anyways. So that made me, मुझे भी life में कुछ करना है. I have to become something. I have to achieve this post that known as mentorship. I have to be something in my life. So within the period of 3 years, I was totally excited for this post already, and I achieved this only in 3 years while working with this brand. While working with this brand, I left this brand, but I joined another brand that was Eurokids, and that made me like I have got 13 years of experience into a preschool. So as I told you that I was already working and I was studying as well simultaneously, doing my interior designing. Now you can think, ma'am, आपका तो field बहुत अलग अलग है. So yes, as I told you that while working as a teacher, it so happened that it made me feel that yeah, this is the perfect place where I have to be. So you have to decide yourself, as in youngsters, as in teenagers. We ourselves has to decide what works well for us. Your mind should give you an answer. It's nobody else will give you an answer. Again, coming back to a point that is mental health. So your mind should give you an answer, what works for you, what will help you to grow. Okay, and that's how then I recently I just, due to this pandemic, I would not regret that I've lost my job, but yes, just this pandemic has taught me and gave me to be an entrepreneur kind of ship, which I was already having it bit, but along with the motivation from Sunny sir, who is our panelist today, we came up with the concept of Kidoquest, where my perspective was already there that I have to reach towards to the parents, the schools, the educators, to make them aware about the early childhood. Now, when I say early childhood, it is very, very essential that everybody should know that हमारा जो brain है, हम born होने के पहले से developed होना चालू हो जाता है. That means when you are in the womb of your mother, right from that stage, your brain starts developing. Okay, so this point, this initial stage of early childhood is somewhere lacking behind. People are not aware about this. So I wanted to make an awareness among the people. So I'm reaching out, doing a lot of activities. I'm making so many, I have a lot of experts who keep on coming. I have a lot of experts who keep on suggesting on good ideas, they come and share their thoughts. How can we reach to the parents? So this is all whole idea of Kidoquest, and very soon we will have a lot of trainings in future for teachers as well, because that is much more needed. So that's what is Kidoquest. And also being at home parent during this pandemic, parent is not aware how to do a homeschooling. So if you go on my Kidoquest page, that is Kanan's Kidoquest page on Facebook, you will find a lot of activities which is being shared by me, where it is helping parents to do with their along with their children. So that's what is the focus right now of Kidoquest.
Thank you, ma'am, for answering the question. Let's move on to Clemence, ma'am. Ma'am, we have a question by Chavi Sharma, and she asks, how can we tackle short temper?
So short temper, it's a bit like every sort of emotional reaction, angriness.
Really sorry to interrupt here. Just like making things clear. The question that we got, like how can we tackle anger? It's from Shilpa Samir, not by Chavi Sharma. You can go ahead.
Okay, thank you for this precision. So yes, so this is as has been mentioned already, how to manage your emotions. I don't really like the word control, because the emotions, you can't really suppress them. Suppressing them or denying them does not work. It's just creating a bomb. If you take your emotions and try to put them down, you just actually can create symptoms, physical symptoms, such as stomach pain or different types of symptoms. So I would not talk about controlling the emotions, but I guess managing is a better word there, because the idea, as we said already, is just to express them. Is the first step to put some distance in between you. This is a bit the principle also of meditation. The thoughts and emotions are like a tornado, something that's really fast and always there. And the stress is part of life. Stress is there, right? And the tornado can be, very overwhelming. And you can either be in the tornado, so being completely overwhelmed and rocked by those thoughts and emotions and behavioral problems and everything, or you can be in the center, in the eye of the tornado, where there is calm. And this is what you can do by talking about it, by writing. Writing is also an amazing thing. So instead of being caught in that, when you can feel that you are losing control and you are behaving in a certain way or saying things that are hurtful, or because we can sometimes see ourselves do that, it's great to just take a step back, relax, maybe take yourself some time on your own, maybe talk to somebody, or maybe don't talk when you know that what you're going to say is not going to be nice, then you're going to regret it, for example. So it's just finding ways to express them, because it's really interesting to see the curve of an emotion. So the emotion builds up, and then there's this peak when the emotion is released, and then you can go back to a normal state. And you can actually be very gentle when you can feel this emotion growing, and instead of, for example, having it exploding in the face of, I don't know, your teacher. You can keep calm, you can just relax, and you can use breathing exercises. They can be very powerful. Or write it down if you're in class, just avoiding to have this explosion, for example, and reacting too quickly. And then when you're out of the class, you go to your best friend and you just say what you've got to say. Let it out. Don't keep it inside. Whichever way works for you. If it's writing, if it's talking, there's plenty of boxing, plenty of ways to let those emotions out. But just be gentle with yourself. It's okay to have that, to have emotions. It's okay to have anger. It's allowed. Just find the best way for you to remove them, to let them leave you. And with practice, then you can manage that better and better every time. And remember that you have hormones, you're teenagers, so the hormones are playing tricks on you, and there are some days with accumulations of stress and situations that are really frustrating or annoying, and etc. just give yourself some credit for that, like, and say, okay, wow, it's been a rough day today. What can I do? And focusing on solutions, as we mentioned, like, what can I do? As it be said, it's wonderful. What can I do? What can be the solution there? Is it just to be quiet, have some quiet time on my own? Is it to do some yoga? Is it to meditate? Is it to listen to some music that's going to calm me down? Is it write down something? Is it talk to somebody? Who can I talk to? Maybe not to the friend that's going to make us even more angry, because it's going to say, yeah, da, 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 da. Just find a resource that works for you in that sense. Oh, that's
Thank you, ma'am, for telling us. So I had one more question for you, ma'am. It's by Charvi Sharma, and she says, what should a person do to help someone experiencing an anxiety attack or panic attack in front of others?
Thank you. That's an amazing question, isn't it? Because it's not only about your emotion, what you go through, but it's also about people around you, right? It can be teenagers, or it can be in general in your family, and you want to be there for them, you want to support them, and you're not always sure how you can do that, how you can be helpful, and there is, again, there you have to be kind with yourself, because it's okay sometimes that you don't know, or you are trying things and they don't work. But sometimes, we don't even realize what works, and we might think, like, I'm here for this person, I'm just holding his hand, for example, or I'm just like stroking his head because I can see that it's panicking. And I have the feeling that it's doing nothing. But the next day, the person says, wow, thank you for being there. You helped me. Thanks to you, I went through that crisis, because I don't know what would have happened if you weren't here. So just being here, listening, having an open empathy, an open heart, be fully here is an amazing gift that you can do. So that's the one thing. And also, depending of what's happening, but sometimes it's great as well to ask the person, so what do you need now? What can I do for you? Instead of imagining how it would help, because sometimes it's just holding somebody that's crying, right? Holding and hugging them, and let them cry, because they need to cry. They need to let it out. It's an amazing stress release, isn't it? We didn't talk about this today, but crying is sometimes seen as something very negative, and it's actually not. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Just let it out whenever you need to cry. Allow yourself to cry. And when you're somebody that needs to cry, allow that person to cry. It's okay. You can cry. You can be safe with me. And you're welcoming without judgments. That's true compassion, right? True compassion is about infinite unconditional love. So you're loving whatever is there. And that's usually the best way for the cry to stop quite quickly. Whenever we are like, oh, don't cry, that's usually actually keeping the crying going. When we're just like, you can cry, you can say whatever you need. I'm here. I'm completely here with you, and I'm here to help you, whatever that means at that moment. So that's what I got for that.
Thank you, ma'am. Crying really helps, I believe. So we have the last question for Sunny sir. So this person asks, sometimes I feel low without any reason. What could be the reason behind it?
Right. So what, in my humble 2 cents, it'll be like, when I don't engage usefully. It could be like, if I'm a feeling person, I should, like you said, Sanisa, it's really relieving to cry. Very good. So if you're a feeling person, heart person, go out there, do bhakti, do devotion, talk to a friend, help people, because you're born to help. And if you're a thinking person, the Mr. Coder like Kunal and all, then you should be coding, helping, talking logic, and use your head for higher studies, self-improvement books, Atma, Paramatma. Then logic will help you. So there are 2 things that will help you, either feeling or thinking. There are only basically 2 types of people. So if you're feeling, go help friends, go help strangers, go to an orphanage, go to old age home, Don't sit idle. Because if you sit idle only, then only you will get negative thoughts. Because there are two types of brains, two parts of brain, left brain and right brain. So left brain will be stressed. अब कुणाल से पूछो तेरे को डिप्रेशन होता है क्या? He will say no. Depression कहेगा. He will have stress. Session should be good. You know, this is our first session. This that. He's running. He's a left brainer. That's why he's getting logic, anonymous, sir, algorithm, this that. So left brainers will get stress and right brainers will get depression. I am feeling lonely. अच्छा फील नहीं हो रहा है. I am not feeling good, you know. पता नहीं अकेले फील हो रहा है मेरे को. Because I have not engaged myself. So left brainer should take a break. Right brainer should get into activities. He should not sit idle at all. So please use multiple intelligences and make your life like Clemence ma'am, Kanan ma'am, who are dedicated to serve. And when you serve, then life is heaven. Like my candles, your life will be lit up. And you will have no reason to ask this kind of a question. Hey, what do? I don't know what is the reason. Be busy. Draw, sing, dance, do Zumba, do meditation. So you have 9 multiple intelligences. You don't have one option. Like Kanan and Clemence ma'am said, find out what works for you, what makes your heart sing. And be khushi, be khush like khushi. Hanji khushi. Batao. Pass या fail?
सर पूरे नंबरों से पास.
अरे thank you.
Thank you, sir. So I have the last question for Clemence ma'am. I think students love you, Clemence ma'am. So this person asks, Suresh Makadia, he asks, will leisure time help to keep mind healthy?
Sorry, can you repeat the beginning?
Will leisure time help to keep mind healthy?
Leisure time, yes. Leisure time is really important, and I'm just I just loved what Sunny sir just said. It's what makes your heart sing. What's and Kanan ma'am just talked about that too, and it's absolutely spot on with that question. What you love the most in the world, and that can be several things. It doesn't have to be one thing. Sometimes as a teenager we're a bit like stressed because I gotta find the one thing I want to do for the rest of my life. What's it gonna be? Just think a bit out of the box there, and whatever you love doing is what is right for you to do in this world, and this is how you're going to be of service of the world, and this is how you're going to have the biggest impact and inside and outside. And so leisure activities are amazing for that. But just a little bit of a caution there, as Kanan said, careful with considering Netflix or spending 8 hours on social media as a leisure time. This is also sometimes a little bit of an addictive behavior, because the time of entertainment produce a very high of emotion, as I said already, so rush of adrenaline usually, and it can be a bit addictive. But this is not what I would call leisure time. I would rather refer to what Sanisa was saying about creating, about using your creativity, art and Zumba and being out there in the world. And this is amazing. This is so helping, and this is going to create the best mental health possible as well, because you are, instead of going there considering all the negative things that the mind can do very easily, it's sort of a habit of the mind. Sorry about that. The mind is great for many things, and for other things we have to be like, okay, this is the negative things, all right, but I'm going to choose to focus on the amazing time I'm going to have just right here, right now, reading that book or doing whatever activity that makes my heart sing. So connect to that, and this is really something that we've been all saying today. Connect to your heart's desire. You are here in this world to have an immense impact. You are so important, all of you, in your unique way, your divine flavor. You are a flavor of the divine in your own unique way. So yes, please explore your heart, please.
So I think the person
Khushi,
got his
I have
answer.
just one point.
Yes, sir.
Can I please? Yeah, thanks.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Thank you. You know what? If I bring you a box of chocolates, or in India we have gulab jamun and rasgulla, huh? I give one to Kunal, Kanan ma'am, Clemence ma'am, and I'm busy giving happily, you know. Now tell me something. Will they not ask me, hey Sunny, did you have? And some of them will be very sweet enough to give me the half and let's share it. So if I'm giving to 40 people, at least 10 will give me half. Now who is the winner? Sunny Nagpal. You all got only one, I got five. So if life of giving, what Clemens ma'am lastly said, how can you serve the world? So if your life is full of giving, you will never be sad. And your mental health will be very strong and peaceful. And one more point, what I see you doing is you are removing others' pain. When you're busy removing others' pain, others' tears you're wiping, you would have learned so much. How to deal with anxiety? I know. How to deal with stress? I know. Because you have healed so many through your platform, Vmitis, and you are peace. So when you're busy removing others' pain, your pain will become a feather in your cap, and you'll be so strong and unshakable, grounded and equanimous, and life will be heaven. Thank you.
So
Thank you, sir.
I would take a
Yes, ma'am.
chance and I would ask you people now, since you have conducted with this mental health awareness activity, how are you feeling now? Is it stressed out or is it still stressed?
I can say I don't have any stress at the moment. I'm enjoying the session, completely immersed in it.
So it
So,
has all removed. That's what is
yes.
like, Clemens ma'am and Sunny sir is already informed. That's what I wanted an answer from you, since you have done this activity and now it has been relaxed position or still stressful.
It's completely relaxed.
Yeah,
I'm having fun, I would say.
because you are giving to the society, you're making everyone happy.
Yes. Healing others heals us, I would say.
Yes.
So, thank you, all the audience who gave us such lovely questions and the speakers who answered all the questions so diligently. So, we will now proceed to, to the vote of thanks by the founders of Vmitis.
Hello
Kunal, sir.
everyone. Yes, I would like to thank you everyone, and again I would like to say that we worked for this for around a month, and here we are taking all things, bringing it all together in just an hour. So it was a hard work of months. Like we actually planned it all along, and we did a lot of things. A lot of people were bought in. I'm very grateful to have all those people, all those people who are there with me. In fact, I would like to make a gallery view so that I can see, all of you can see. And I'm actually grateful to each one of you, the way you actually helped me, by agreeing and as a speaker and as a host and as a helper to my event in organizing it, in making it a good, huge success. Or obviously, there were a lot of problems involved, but in the end of the day, I think it all turned out to be good. We are here, and the thing is that it all went out, so wiped out, so so fast, I would say. We worked for it for a month, and here we are wiping it out just in an hour. So a big thank you for the founders with me, like my team, for cooperating, Shrey for streamlining the things and making everything smooth, Harshvia for making all the things happen, making all the collaborations happen, Satvik Ram for not getting over me for not making contributions to the AI department, and Kanchi for making everything happen in a smooth manner, generating all the content, spreading it all around, making all the cross checks and stuff. and Arnav for creating all posters, sending out mails, and helping in promotions. And obviously to speakers, like you were all who agreed, and Khushi, I still remember like it was just one day before I asked you to host. So a big thank you for to you, like to actually accept it. So yeah, I'm actually grateful to each and everybody.
So I would say let's clap for ourselves, everyone. Great work, everyone.
So I hope we all had a great time today, and we will have, an experience for lifetime. So thank you all for joining us today for this awareness jolly, and I hope you will really go to Vmitis and share your thoughts, stories, and everything that you have. Thank you all.
Okay, so I'll now be ending the live stream. Goodbye. So bye. Okay.